Pleasant day to everyone. I am Jonalyn Gonzales from the 4th group, and we will discuss about the article by David A. Sprenger and Adrienne Swannier that discusses about the technology acceptance of 4 digital learning technologies, namely classroom response system, classroom chat, e-lectures, and mobile virtual reality after 3 months usage. Let me share the overview of this article to you. So we all know that technologies nowadays are cost efficient because it is something that is good in value, where the benefits and usage are worth at least what is paid for it. And incorporating this to the education sector makes it more efficient, for it upgrades and changes the traditional education system, turning it into something more enjoyable and accessible to many students. This gives a bigger advantage to students as time goes by and as new technologies get higher. This article focused on 4 of these technologies and sought to find out which of these technologies are the most efficient for the students. To find out the acceptance for the technology effectiveness, the researchers assessed students through the technology acceptance model. And this is through measuring the perceived usefulness, the perceived ease of use after using these technologies for several months. In order to figure this out, the researchers applied the use of the 4 digital learning technologies to 94 students, then measured by the perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and their behavioral intention after 3 months usage. So how does the 4 digital learning technologies apply? Let me start with Classroom Response System, or CRS, which is also known as Student Response System or Personal Response Systems. This technology allows lecturers to pose multi-choice questions before, during, and after lectures, in which students can answer on their own electronic devices. The answers are combined together and then shows it to the class or to the students individually. This is for the lecturer to be able to monitor the students' understanding about the topics they discuss. And of course, as they do this, they may see which part of the lesson majority or some students was not able to follow, then clarifying it. Classroom response systems allow shy students to open up the questions in their minds, which is a good thing because of the privacy they have between the student and the lecturer. The inquiry of the students to the lecturer is said to be at most 20 minutes. Using this system break up long presentations and allow students to be active and focused during the class. The classroom response system was motivated by several goals. First is to encourage students to revisit the course content between lectures. Second is to activate students during lectures. Third is to give students a preview of typical exam questions. And lastly, to provide feedback to students and the lecturer on students' learning progress. Now let's jump into the second digital learning technology I will discuss, which is the classroom chat. Classroom chat allows students to communicate with lecturers while the lecturers discuss in front of the class, and vice versa. The lecturer communicating to the class is referred to as the front channel, and while the communication the students have among each other is referred to as back channel. The back channel allows students to have discussion with their fellow classmates, of course a discussion about the current lecture. Doing this, we cannot deny that it is possible for students to get distracted in the lecture as it is their friends who they communicate with. That is a disadvantage for this digital learning technology. To avoid this problem, a new approach was made wherein the students can submit their questions privately to the lecturer, who can respond during the lecture or at the beginning of the following lecture. Giving privacy and anonymity to students as they ask their question is said to encourage students rather than to ignore their puzzled minds and be shy. Now I will go to the third digital learning technology, which is e-lectures. As the name says, e-lectures are video recorded lectures that is accessible at any time of the day. This allows individual reviewing of content and learning at their own pace. E-lectures are most useful when students miss a lecture due to illness or other reason. E-lectures is widely used and popular to both students and lecturers. Now, the last digital learning technology I will discuss is the mobile virtual reality. It is said that VR allows the creation of a virtual environment using a computer and a headset. This allows students to put themselves in the real-time situation to better understand the lectures and also to practice their skills themselves, not just by imagining everything they study. This is most popular to students who are required for training their skills and entertainment scenarios. VR allows students to provide multiple presentations of reality, knowledge construction, reflective practice by creating simulations, virtual worlds, and games, and is more used in the field of science, technology, mathematics, and medicine. As not all students have or can afford a desktop computer and a headset, they make the use of mobile virtual reality, wherein instead of desktop or computer, a smartphone and its screen are used together with a customized cardboard to create the immersion experience. Despite its low costs, mobile VR remains less popular in the educational settings. Research says that it is only used 20% of the time than the higher quality and higher cost PC-based VR systems, in which it's just the same in terms of outcomes. And now, to find out the technology acceptance of these four digital learning technology, the researchers participants consist of the first term students studying General Psychology 1 at University of Applied Sciences and Arts, Northern Switzerland. 94 students consisting of 72 females and 22 males voluntarily registered to be part of the study. To continue the report, Mr. Emmanuel Cruz will share to you what we have found out in the results and discussions of the article. Thank you.
So based on the results and discussions of the research, we have found out that the most accepted digital learning technologies according to its behavioral intentions are number 1, the classroom response system or the CRS, number 2, the e-lectures, number 3, the classroom chat or CC, number 4, and the number 4 is the mobile virtual reality. So as you can see on the figure below, it shows the behavioral intention of the four digital learning technologies. The CRS or the classroom response system has the highest behavioral intention among the four, while the VR or the mobile virtual reality has the lowest behavioral intention among the four. The reason why the CRS and the e-lectures both have the high behavioral intention is because for according to the students, it helps them to better answer their examination. While the CC and the mobile visual reality, the students think that it does not help them much answering their examination. So let's find out why the CRS and the e-lectures have the highest behavioral intention and why the CC and the VR has the lowest behavioral intention. So according to the technology acceptance model, the behavioral intention of the technology determined by its two components. Number one, the perceived ease of use of the technology or the amount of effort that you exert while using the technology. And second, the perceived usefulness of the technology um or the learning flexibility while using the technology. Learning and time flexibility while using the technology. So as you can see, um let us start first the perceived ease of use. Let us start first with the perceived use of use of the technology, since the perceived ease of use technology influence the perceived usefulness of the technology in a way that kapag nag-exert ka ng sobrang effort sa technology and you find it hard to use, and then ang implication nun, the technology is not very useful to you kasi nga sobrang dami mong ginagawa and nahirapan ka i-execute yung technology. So, according to the students, to the respondents, the CC, the CRS, and the E-lectures have almost the same perceived ease of use. So, ibig sabihin, madali lang daw gamitin tong tatlong technology na to in their learning. While the mobile virtual reality has the, hindi naman ganun kalaking difference, pero siya yung pinakamababang perceived ease of use among the four. The reason why the mobile virtual reality has the lowest perceived ease of use is because the students experience technical difficulties while using the technology. So let's move on to the perceived usefulness of the for digital learning technologies. As you can see, the CRS has the highest perceived usefulness among the four. It's because the CRS, as explained earlier, the CRS offers the students to offers the professor to pose multiple questions during, after, and before the discussion, and the students will answer them. And after answering the question, the results will be posted on the screen, showing um, where the student showing kung saan nagkamali yung mga estudyante. So, etong CRS, it allows the student to review the past lesson kasi nga, they will tend to answer the question, di ba? So, they will review the past lessons for them to answer the question. So, etong CRS, it gives them the long-term retention. Etong long-term retention na to, nakakatulong para masagutan nila ng mas madali and a lot easier yung examination nila. While the e-lectures, sumunod siya sa CRS and maliit lang yung difference nila. Itong e-lectures naman, it very useful sa mga students na nakamiss ng exam or may mga prior commitment pang ginagawa, kaya nakamiss sila sa mga lectures nila. Itong e-lectures, it provides them their own pace of learning. So kapag sa isang subject na to, kahit hanggang kailan nila i-take yan, kahit kailan nila i-study yan, hanggang sa maintindihan na nila. Itong e-lectures, it helps them to better understand the lesson with no time pressure. Kaya, it helps them to better understand the lesson and better give answer to the examination. While the classroom chat, etong napakalaking difference niya compare sa CRS. Ito kasi yung classroom chat, it offers lang the asking of question of the students to the professor. Meanwhile, etong CRS, it offers pa yung pagpo-post ng mga multiple question to assess the understanding of the students. Etong classroom chat, it does not give much attention to the students kasi nga makikinig lang sila sa discussion and magtatanong, and then that's it. Wala nang retention na nangyari, kaya mas nahihirapan silang i-review yung mga past lesson, and then nahihirapan din silang sagutan yung mga examination. On the other hand, etong mobile virtual reality, sobrang baba lang ng perceived usefulness nila. Kasi nga, di ba, yung perceived ease of use, masyadong mahirap siyang gamitin. And yung perceived ease of use affects the perceived usefulness, di ba? And also, ang nakikita kong reason kaya sobrang baba ng perceived usefulness, kung i-disregard natin yung technical difficulties, the reason why the mobile virtual reality has the lowest perceived usefulness is because it does not fit to their course. Kasi nga, mga psychology students sumato. So, more on text sila, reading the articles, yung mga ganun-ganun. And for me, itong mobile virtual reality, mas fit siya sa mga science courses kasi more on visualization sila eh. So, ayun nga, because of that, may nakita ko, ang na-realize ko na itong technology acceptance model has its own limitation. It is very subjective to the user, to their experiences and biases. For example, ang mga biases na pwedeng maka-affect sa kanila is kung alam ba nila gamitin isang technology. Kasi kung hindi nila alam gamitin isang technology, it may affect their ease of use of the technology. For example, for me, yung Adobe Photoshop, yung Adobe, nahirapan talaga akong gamitin siya. And sobrang grabing effort yung kailangan kong gawin para magamit siya. So, for me, hindi siya ganun ka-useful sa akin kahit na alam naman natin na yung Adobe, sobrang useful niya. Ang dami niyang nagagamit. Ayun, kasi di ko talaga siya alam kung paano gamitin. Kaya naka-apekto talaga siya sa usefulness ng technology. At saka, etong tsaka yung paggamit ng technology is very subjective in a way na dapat fit to sa mga student mo at fit din sa course na tinuturo mo. For example, itong mobile virtual reality, it does not mean na hindi siya ganun ka-useful na technology for learning kasi itong mobile virtual reality is sobrang useful niya sa mga science courses para ma-visualize lalo yung tinuturo nila. Wherein dito sa psychology, courses, hindi siya ganun ka-useful kasi nga 'di ba more on text sila, more on reading sila. Kaya ayun. So, as a future educator, we should not limit our technologies sa isa lang. Kailangan ma-fit natin ito to our students and to our subject, to our courses para mas ma-maximize pa natin yung learning ng ating mga estudyante. And that's it.
Good day, everyone. So since Mr. Cruz and Ms. Gonzales have already discussed the article assigned to us, which is the technology acceptance of 4 digital learning technologies after 3 months usage, I am now about to discuss what is something new that we have found out after studying the article. Well, out of 4 digital learning technologies, we were already familiar to classroom response system, which allows the lecturer to pose multi-choice question before, during, and after their discussion, which the students can answer through their mobile phone, laptop, or other gadgets. Also, to classroom chat that allows students to talk or communicate with each other while the lecturer talks at the front. And also to e-lectures that provides the recorded content which the students can review. The only thing that is something new to us is mobile virtual reality. It is something new to us since we don't have and we haven't experienced this kind of digital learning technology. But it is something that we have discovered that mobile virtual reality allows the creation of mobile environment using computer and headset. But after reading the article, we also did some research. And it does actually engage and inspire students in a unique and powerful way. It does attract the attention of students, especially to academic matters. About the result after 3 months usage, there is no something new, because as we can experience in the present time, it is very effective to have a classroom response system and how helpful e-lecture is compared to classroom chat and mobile virtual reality. Though all of them are very efficient, it is still classroom response system that is more influential. So this is our reflection. This article, Technology Acceptance of 4 Digital Learning Technologies After 3 Months Usage, is very helpful. This shows us how effective it is to have a classroom response system. To be a teacher in the future, this article gives us realization how effective it is to connect with the students, how to effectively teach them, and what is the best way for them to learn. Since we were all living the 21st century, we were all familiar about the use of technology in different aspects. Just like for education, we use technology to communicate and connect with other people. Truly, technology helps us a lot to lessen our work, especially during this pandemic that we all need to study. Thank you.